Hey, this is Nick with Capital Catalyst, and I believe that you're missing out on easy money. And this is what I mean. If you play Magic or Pokemon or whatever, nobody plays Pokemon. Just kidding. PokePaster plays Pokemon. You should look up PokePaster. Anyway, I digress. So if you play Magic or any other trading card game, you have cards that are sitting around doing nothing that you actually don't miss. Odds are. I mean, you could be brand new and this could not be the case, but odds are you have cards that you've bought, you've paid for, that are valuable even, and they're just sitting in a box somewhere and you have forgotten about them. You know that the box exists, but if you open the box and start going through it, you're going to say, oh my goodness, I didn't realize I had this card. This is so cool. I should build a deck, ABC. And you know, maybe you should go build a deck, but also you didn't miss that card. It was just sitting there. What if you sold it? And this is such a powerful way to engage with a hobby, because we all have this. We all have cards sitting around that aren't doing anything. They're not adding value to our lives, right? Like there's cards that you might have in a binder or slabbed on a wall, or you have in a deck that you play with regularly. Those cards are adding meaningful value to your life. But then there's these other cards that are sitting there and maybe you know they're sitting there, and so they are adding value to your life because you're like, oh no, I know they're there, and I think about them. And if you think about them, great. But the cards that you don't think about, those could just be money. And that money could be other cards that you do think about, or that money could be other things, you know? And this is what I'm thinking about when I believe that there is easy money to be made just in your collection, because there are so many cards that you don't actually want, right? You're not thinking about them. They're not actively part of your life, but other people do want, and other people would be willing to give you money in exchange for those cards. Today, I've got a collection with me. This is the same collection as I was sharing before, but this is an example of somebody who had a bunch of cards that they just, you know, aren't valuable, aren't important to them. And let me share with you a little bit about how I'm engaging with this person's collection. So this person was selling a bunch of cards on Facebook Marketplace, and I reached out and said, hey, would you be willing to sell all of it for 70%? And they said, yeah. And they're kind of surprised, you know, and a lot of people do get surprised by somebody like me who's just willing to swoop in and buy every single card, from your search foils from Final Fantasy to your foil Realms Beyond to promos from buy boxes. Yeah, a bunch of Final Fantasy stuff here, to your original Strixhaven secret, whatever they're called. You know, I was willing to buy all the cards, 70%. And this person was very happy to do that exchange. And then I get these cards, and this is the backlog. I still need to scan everything in here and kind of sort through it. These two piles I've already scanned. And when I say scanned, I'm using the TCG Player app. That is the kind of saving grace for me for buying random collections with a ton of cards in them. You know, I'd love to just trust whatever list or whatever that somebody gives me, but obviously I can't. I mean, I want to put all these cards on my TCG Player online store. And if there's a mistake, then that's on me. And it's a real feel bad if you sell someone a card you don't have, or a card that's like you sold it as near mint, but it's actually lightly played or whatever. Right. So the due diligence, there's a need for me to go through each and every single one of these cards and validate that it's like, okay, this is the card. I do have this card and I'm ready to sell it. So the TCG Player app, once you're at level 4 on TCG Player as a seller, is a real godsend to be able to go through, scan each and every one card and add it to a collection. And, you know, it's like I could even do one of these cards right now live, right? So it's like I've got this Hauntwood Shrieker from Duskmourn. Duskmourn is an incredible set. I've just been growing to love horror as I get older, which is kind of funny. Oh my gosh, people are blowing up my last video with comments. It's so good. Okay, so I bust out the TCG Player app, and this is what it looks like, is the scan section. And I can just point at the card, And what works best actually is a white background. Pro tip. So I'm going to get this white piece of paper here, stick it over. I've got my card on it. Pull out the scanner. Does that work? And it's a little finicky sometimes, right? So hold it over. Come on. I tried different angles. Oh, you know what's actually hurting it is the light being on. This is the other pro tip, is that if you turn the light off, like the light in this room off, that this is going to work better. And then, of course, if it doesn't work, you can just type the card name in and then add it to your collection that way. It takes a long time. It is a lot of work. But, you know, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. If you're going to buy collections from people and sell their cards, you got to audit inventory of them somehow. And these scanner apps are actually so good, as opposed to, the alternative, right, is you're looking up each individual card in the catalog online, listing it that way. And that is not going to happen. So, yep, big fan of the app. And so this person had, this was an $1,100 collection that I was able to pick up for $800. This person had, $1,100 of cards that they're still playing. They're at the game store. In fact, they're probably at the game store right now. Like I got to know this person a little bit, and they like the game. And so they still have cards they're playing with, but this was like $1,100 of cards that was just sitting in their collection that they did not need. And so they were able to liquidate that, turn that into $800, with my help. And speaking of which, if you want to sell a collection, let me know. But instead, what you should do is make a TCG player account and start listing cards and start taking this value that you've accumulated through months or years of, I'll call it work. It's obviously a lot of fun, but this kind of hard work of creating this collection. And now you have these cards that you're not playing with, you're not thinking about, and you should really turn those into money that you can use to buy other cards or to just enjoy life. So there's my pro tip of wisdom for the day, that I believe you are missing out on easy money. If you have cards in your collection that are just sitting there that you could be turning into something very useful, which is money. So anyways, let me know what you think. Good times, y'all.